Hey guys, welcome back to my Colourful Country Life. Today's video is a haul, and this might be my biggest haul yet. This one is jam-packed with colouring books and art supplies. We've got new full sets of pencils to swatch and explore, a tool I have been curious about since my last haul, a few cheeky supplies for an upcoming challenge video, and even some incredibly thoughtful happy mail from one of my beautiful subscribers. So whether you're here for the art supplies, the swatches, or just to hang out and chat about all things colouring, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Now this is something I am so excited about. I finally grabbed myself the full 150 set of Derwent Chromoflow pencils. I have had the 72 set for quite a while now. They were very generously gifted to me by a subscriber. But I really wanted to get the full 150 set so I can start working on colour combinations with the entire range as voted by you guys for the next installment in our colour combination series. Currently, you should be seeing the Neo Colour 2 combo series up on the channel, which was filling the gap while I waited for these bad boys to arrive. Now, they are still in the cardboard box. I haven't even opened them yet. So let's unbox them together and take our first look at the new colours. Well, my first look at the new colours. I haven't actually watched or read anything about the new set, so I don't even know what the new colors are yet, but I know a lot of you already have them in your collection and are waiting for these color combinations to come. I'm actually really excited to see the full color range and to compare them to some of the other big sets as well, like Prismacolors. So we have our usual metal tin. This box is actually massive. I can see little color swatches, tiny little ones down the bottom here, and let's flip it over. Do we have any on the back? No, we don't. Okay, so let's open it up. Looks like we've got some plastic to take off. Does it flip? Nope, the whole lid comes off. Okay, all right, let's cut this plastic off. I do love a brand new set of pencils. Oh, the possibilities of what we can create. Look at these pretty colors. Oops. Just let that plastic off. Okay, so that's our top tray. Oops. And tray number 2, our purples and blues and greens. Look at those colors. Got a nice light blue. That looks like this could be a nice light blue too. I always like to have a look for the pale colors, for my highlight colors. Some beautiful, even this one, some beautiful pale pinks and purples. Some nude colors, some good skin colors there as well. Let's have a look under this tray. It's another one, yep. Okay, so that looks like our last tray. Some more greens. What are these ones? Our yellow browns. We've got some metallics down here too. So, I do want to swatch them all out to get a good look at the colour range, but the colour order in my swatch charts actually match my conversion chart. So what I'm going to have to do, let me put this back in there. What I'm going to have to do is go away and do my colour matching. And once I've done the conversions, I can put my pencils into order and come back and swatch them. So I can do a swatch chart. And then we can take a look at the differences from the 72 set and also the conversion chart, which I know a lot of you find useful as well. So both the swatch chart and the conversion chart will be available to download for free, and the link will be down in the description by the time you're watching this. Now, I already have the 72 set in my current conversion chart, as a lot of you may know. I'll just grab that 1 second. So my next step, we've got the Chromoflows here, and this is available to download off my website or my Ko-fi as well. I'll put the links down in the video description for this as well. So we've got the Chromoflows here. Now, my next step is to make sure none of the new colours are better or closer matches than the original 72. in case I need to move anything around, and of course see where I can slot in the new colors if they have a color match as well. Now, once that's done, I can put together a new swatch chart, because my swatch chart will be in order from the conversion chart. So the same order that this is in now. Let me grab my old swatch chart and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I mentioned before that I like to have my swatch charts in the same color order as my conversion chart. I'm just going to move these pencils to the side for a second so I can quickly show you. Now, this is my folder where I keep all my swatches for all of my different mediums, and my pencils are here. And we're in alphabetical order, so there's our Chromoflows. Now, as you can see here, the color orders that you can see all match. So you start with the yellows, going into oranges, reds, nudes, pinks, etc. And I'll show you another one. So we've got the luminance as well. Can you see that on the screen? So again, the same sort of order. And polychromos, Prismacolors. If I do that, or that, you can see, hang on, might be easier if I do it like this. So they're the Castle Art, the 120 set and the 48 pastel tints. The Harmonious I haven't added to this swatch chart yet, so I need to do that. But you can see here, yeah, same sort of order. Now, the reason I do this is so I can find a dupe really quickly if I need to. So here is always going to be my creamy colors, and then we go into our yellows. So you can have a look at this and see that maybe that might be a dupe for golden yellow deep and that sort of thing. So that helps me find a dupe really quickly without having to look at my conversion chart. And I can do that with any of the brands. So you can see here with the Crayolas as well. Do that. So you can see here, we have a look along the yellows, into the oranges. Got a couple of sort of nudie colours before we go into the pinks. There's really hardly any reds actually in the 72 set. So, what I will then do is transfer the pencils into a pencil case, and I'll do that in the same order so everything matches and is easy to find for me. So everything's based on the conversion chart, and then I do my pencil swatch charts based on my conversion chart, and then I store them in their pencil cases based on the same order. So everything is nice and easy and organized and helpful to find. So I do have my current 72 set in this pencil roll here. Now this roll, if you scroll down in the video description, you'll find a section which says my list of essential art supplies, and click that link and it will take you to my blog post where I link this roll as well as other pencil organization and other different products that I like to use, and it'll give you a bit more information on the products and stuff as well. So this is currently organized in the same order as my swatch chart. I'll just show you that there. So that is my 72 set. So I'm now going to have some spares, which is wonderful. Now I actually have an empty pencil case on hand that's going to fit this set of pencils perfectly, so that works out really well. So I'm going to transfer them into this pencil case here. This will fit, I think it's a 200 slot pencil case off the top of my head, so they will fit in here nicely. Just unzip that one. Yeah, so luckily I had one empty pencil case on hand, so that'll fit my new 150 set in here perfectly once I get them in order. Now I also have my Prismas sitting on my desk at the moment, and I can show you what I mean as an example of how I order my pencils in their cases. So it's actually a question I do get a lot. If you are interested in seeing more about how I organize my coloring supplies or my swatches or color combos, any of that stuff, let me know, because I am a little bit of a nerd when it comes to organization. So like I was saying, with the swatch charts, we start with our yellows into our oranges, reds, sort of nudes, pinks, and purples, etc. So yeah, and they're all in the same order. So if I was looking for a dupe for, say, deco yellow, then I could pick up any of my other pencil cases and look in roughly the same area to find a dupe as well. So the next segment, I will be back with a conversion chart and a swatch chart for you all, and then we can have a look at the differences between the 72 set and the 150 set and how they compare to other pencil sets too. So I will see you all very shortly with your conversion and swatch charts. Let's jump into alcohol markers now. If you follow me on Facebook, you might have seen a post I made about a month or so ago asking for suggestions on the best Ohuhu dupes. Like so many of you, I've been trying to get my hands on the Ohuhu markers for quite some time now, nearly a year I think, and every time they're back and they're restocked, they're gone again just as quickly. I asked the community for their go-to alternatives, and after doing quite the deep dive, the most popular alternatives I did come across were Bianyo, Art, Shuttle Art, and Artex. Now, my challenge was not just finding the right brand, but one that actually ships to Australia in a decent sized set as well. So my goal was to find a large range so I could test and possibly build a conversion chart with the Ohuhu markers. Bianyo was my first choice since they are releasing a 366 marker set soon, but unfortunately they have confirmed that it won't be sold in Australia. If you are curious though, they do have a smaller 72 set available on Amazon Australia. Now, Art has a 168 set of markers on Amazon Australia for 282 Australian dollars. However, this does end up being around 50 cents more per marker than the Ohuhu was selling for at that point in time. And as for the Artex, I already have the Oros Pastel set, and I think these are amazing markers. I really do love them, and I think they are a great choice as a Ohuhu dupe. My one issue was to get all the colours in the range. It meant purchasing multiple sets, which also meant multiple dupes. That's not necessarily a huge issue, as when you run out of a marker, you might find you already have a replacement from the duplicates, but I really was on the lookout for one large set of colours. Now that brought me to Shuttle Art. Their largest set worldwide seems to be around 310 markers that I can find, but the biggest set available in Australia was the 206 set, and it was only $79.99 Australian dollars, so I went and grabbed a set. Oh gosh, this is heavy. It arrived in this large cardboard box, so let's open it up and take a look. I think I might have to stand up for this one because it's quite large. Okay, so we have a black carry case here, typical for most marker sets, and even a shoulder strap here. That's handy if you're taking your markers to, say, a colouring meetup or a friend's house or family. Let's lift it out of here. Oh, we've got some clips on the front here, but they're not clipped. 1 second. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, here we go. I'll lift it from here. Try not to hit the camera. Okay, let's get that out of our way. Okay, so like I just said, we've got some clips on the front here, so that's going to help prevent your markers from falling out of the case. Okay, let's pop it here. Oh, and it's Velcro. Oh, that's really sturdy, isn't it? Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, so first off, let me sit back down. For budget markers, this is actually really fancy packaging. So we have an envelope on top here. I'm assuming this is going to hold our swatch chart. So let's take a look at what's inside. It's got their website and email address on the front. Can I just rip into that? I can. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got some colour stickers here as well. Okay, so we've got marker instructions, and it's showing here normal paper and marker paper, so it could bleed through. So it says to prevent markers from bleeding to the next page, you can write on the specific marker paper. So use marker paper, not normal colouring book paper, but we do use our normal colouring book paper. We just put something in between, don't we? To prevent the marker from drying and volatilizing, please recap after use. To prevent ink from leaking, please keep the markers lay flat after use. So lay your markers on their sides. To prevent ink from bleeding in use, the tip should not stay on the paper for a long time. So that's what it looks like 10 seconds on the paper, and that's what it looked like 30 seconds on the paper. Since our markers are carefully selected to provide a wider range of colours in limited quantities, and all the colour codes of the markers follow the colour system, sometimes the colour codes are not coherent. I think that might be saying that the caps don't match the colour. I think that's what that's trying to say. The effect of number 0 marker. So that's your blender marker. The number 0 marker is used to adjust and blend the edges of different colours to make them more natural. Using the number 0 marker on an already coloured area can slightly reduce the saturation of the colour, creating a faded effect. If you've drawn in the wrong place, you can gently apply a number 0 marker to remove the excess ink as it dries colourless, leaving no mark. And then you got the transparent sheet, which is this here. And it says here, as our art markers are alcohol based, the ink tends to spread on the paper and can bleed through normal paper. You can use the transparent sheet as a backing while drawing or doing colouring tests, as it can prevent bleeding to the next page or anything below. I really wish they would give us bigger sized, the flexible plastic sheeting, like an A4 size for the bigger books maybe, or even like the 12 by 12 for, you know, like Kirby Roseanne sizes and stuff. Yeah. I normally use, let me have a look. Here we go. So this here is the cover, like a binding cover. And this is what I use to put in between my pages instead. And that's a pretty good size for most books. So we have our swatch chart here. It's on thick cardstock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 different ones. Different sheets. Okay. Colour stickers. If you want to see the true ink colour of your marker at a glance, please simply colour in this sticker and attach it to the end of your marker. Oh, that's a good idea, isn't it? Because you always say that the cap doesn't necessarily match the colour. That's why you should swatch them out. But if you swatch them onto the stickers and stick the sticker onto the marker, then you've got your true colour. Is this? Let's open it up and see. It's thin sticker paper, so it's not like marker paper, but it will still give you a realistic colour swatch. That's actually quite a good idea. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. So that will be in the same order, is it? Yeah, the same order. Oh, so they're numbered. Okay. Oh, awesome. And what have we got here? A marker pad. So we've got 50 sheets. It's weighted at 60 pounds. Natural white paper, no feathering, no bleeding. Now, I'm no artist. Let's open this up. I am no artist. So rather than drawing my own images on the marker pad to colour, I'd likely use mine for swatching colour combos, testing out colour combos, practicing my blending patterns, swatching, all that sort of stuff. There we go. Let's have a look. Yep, so it's a nice bright white. Oh, it's actually thin. Oh, it's waxy on the back. I didn't expect that. I was expecting like the thick marker cardstock. It's actually really thin. I don't know if you can hear that. Super thin, and then it's waxy. I wonder if it would bleed through. Oh, it says no bleeding. I'm just going to test that right now on this back page. Wine red, that looks like a good one to test. Let's see. Do we bleed through? It's come through there. It hasn't come through there. So if, yeah. I don't know about this no bleed through. Let's try this page, see what happens. If I do it, hang on. Oh, let me do it here, next to it. Oops. Okay, so it goes through to the waxy side, but it doesn't go through to the paper underneath. Okay. So it's still only like single-sided sheet. So yeah, I would use this just to practice colouring blends, colour combos, different patterns and stuff like that. Just use it as a little bit of a practice book, I think. Okay, now we've also got this little box here. Let's have a look. So it says it's an accessory box, 2 micro tip pens and 3 white highlighter pens. Okay, a nice touch for outlining and adding in highlights. Let's have a look. So archival ink for waterproof and fade proof lines, awesome. And it is 0.3 in size. I usually use a 0.2 nib, which is the same size that Joanna Basford outlines her illustrations with. So this one will be a little thicker, something to keep in mind. This is what I normally use. So it's a Unipin 0.2 in black. Let's just use that same marker pad and see what those thicknesses look like. Can I fold that over? Yeah, there we go. So this is the one I normally use, 0.2, which is the same size that Joanna uses for her colouring books. It actually looks thinner. Very similar. It actually looks like it might even be a little bit thinner. Very similar, so it won't make a difference. Now, the reason I was just testing that is because if you do add your own elements onto your colouring pages, and you want to outline them in black so they match the other elements on the page, you can use one of these liners, these pens, to fill in those black lines so they match. That's what I use mine for. And white highlights. Oh, okay, let's test this out. I'm really curious to see how these go. So let's test them out on top of this alcohol marker. But I wonder how well they'll work over pencil too. Something else I'm going to need to test out. Okay, do I need to... Let's just try it straight on there. Yeah, so let's just... the nib. Okay, they're not too bad actually. It's not bright white, it's kind of yellow. It's got a bit of a creamy tint to it, I think. Seems to be soaking in rather than sitting on top. I think my Shuttle Art would still work a bit better on top of the alcohol markers. I'm going to try these out on pencils though and see how they work. So this is highlight pen, 0.8 mil. I don't know if they sell these separately. So last but not least, we have all of these gorgeous colours, and just look how pretty they look together in the box. I'm just going to pop this box back in here. So it stops them from moving around a bit. Look at that. I love that they're in colour order. So let's pick up this marker again. Now these markers are chisel tip and fine tip, as you can see here. That's your fine tip. Personally, I prefer a brush tip over a fine tip. However, the fine tip is 1 mil in size. So let's have a look at the chisel tip. The chisel tip is up to 7 mils in size. So it should be still small enough to get into a lot of those little details, I think. Now the barrel is square and white, and they have their color-coded caps on both sides with the marker names and numbers on them. Now they do also claim that they are rated for 300 meters of continuous use, which sounds like a lot of ink per marker. I wonder how the other brands stack up if they've done similar studies. Now the main downside to these is that the markers aren't sold open stock. So if you do need to purchase a replacement, you need to purchase a whole new set of markers to get the marker that you've run out from. So there are smaller sets that you might find you need instead of having to buy the big set again. But I mean, $79.99 and you get all of the colors all again. It's pretty good for a budget marker. The price is pretty affordable, I think. Now, of course, the same day the Shuttle Art set arrived, I did get an email from Ohuhu saying their 320 marker set was finally back in stock. And after nearly a year of trying to get them, my husband jumped online and surprised me by ordering the set for my birthday, which have arrived already. So now I've got both sets to compare, which is going to be really good for some future alcohol marker videos. So let's swatch out this set and then we can look at the Ohuhus and have a quick look at the different color ranges. Well, that was kind of disappointing and honestly really frustrating too. As I was swatching, you'll have noticed several of the Shuttle Art markers dripping quite a bit. You can see all the little puddles, those little splotches of ink left behind. It made it really difficult to get a clean swatch, and I was trying so hard to stay between the lines as well. It's looking really messy right now. I'm not sure if this is because the markers are stored upright in the case, which could cause the ink to pool at the tip. Has anybody else had this issue with their Shuttle Art markers? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, the colour range itself is actually quite good. Most of the markers were really juicy. There were a few that felt a little bit dry, and there were two in particular that were a little bit scratchy when I was putting the colour down. So on that note, let's slide this all to the side for now and move on to something I've been really excited to finally try, and that is the Ohuhu markers. Oh my gosh, this weighs a ton. Okay, this is the Ohuhu 320 set of Honolulu markers, and it does come in a similar style black case to the Shuttle Arts, although this one has a zip closure rather than the Velcro. So let's open it up. Here's the zip. Okay. We've got a shoulder strap on this one too, which is removable as well in this case. Look at all those markers, so many colors. Oh my gosh, I do wish they came in color order like the Shuttle Art set did. Wow, this is definitely going to take some time to organize. Luckily, I love doing that sort of thing. This is going to take a day. Now, I can see some stuff down the back of the case here. One second. Got a few extras tucked in here. We've got our swatch chart, so it's printed on some nice thick marker paper. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those to fill out. We've got our flexible plastic sheet to pop behind your colouring page to help prevent bleed through. Okay, and we've got a little booklet here about Ohuhu markers. So this set is the Honolulu set, which we've got here. Now it does say here that there's 363 colours in the full Honolulu range, but there's only 320 included in this set. I wonder why they haven't released a full 363 set. You'd think there'd be an option to purchase all of the markers
of the range all in one set. Maybe it's because it's an odd number, because 363, my OCD does not love that number. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't even know which colours are missing. But yeah, so there's 320 in this set, but there's 363 total Honolulu colours. And let's have a look through. So it's got some question and answers here. So what's the differences between the different ranges? Can you use your markers on metal, glass, acrylic panels? Best way to store them, how to remove ink. Yeah, lots of helpful information here. We've got information on how to refill your markers as well. It also has some information here too, I think, on how to replace the nibs. So that's all the different sets here down the bottom. That's the Ohuhus. So the Honolulu and the Honolulu B series. So the Honolulu B has the fine tip with the brush tip, and these have the brush and the chisel tip. And yeah, here you go, reversible brush tip, and I think they're replaceable as well. That is the colour range of the Honolulus and the Honolulu Bs. Yeah, so this is full of interesting information, which is handy to keep and to read. How to use colour stickers. Does it come with colour stickers? Oh, I think it's just for that series. They're sketchbooks, they're fine liner pens. Oops. Gel pens, marker organizer. I actually have some of these organizers. I think I need to get some more now to fit all these markers. Yeah, okay, that's in different language now. Yep, so let's have a look at the markers themselves. So I'll pick this one up here. Now they have a round white barrel with silver writing, and it clearly labels which end is your broad tip, your chisel tip, or your brush tip, and that's the brush tip there. And I'll show you the broad tip, which looks like that. Now both caps are color coded, and they have the color number and name printed on the cap as well, which makes it easy to find the marker that you need. The color range is huge, actually. Honestly, there is something for every need in here. Anything you want to color, there is a color for that element. So let's go ahead and swatch them all out and try to get them into some sort of color order here. This is going to take some time. This is going to be a day. I need snacks and coffee. Okay guys, so that is all of our markers swatched. Now that took just over 2 hours of swatching. It would have been so much quicker if they were in color order, but look how pretty they all look together. So many beautiful colors. I can't wait to get started coloring some pages with these. Now if we have a look at the Shuttle Art swatch charts here as well, and we can see the differences in the color ranges, and I can see some similar colors when I'm looking at them. So willow green, a sugar cane, that sort of thing. Just looking at the blues and our pinks and our greys. So the Shuttle Arts don't look to be quite as saturated in colour, but that could be the paper as well, because the paper, it is thick, but it's not quite this beautiful thick cardstock that Ohuhu gives you. So that could be the paper. We'll have to try them in some colouring books. I am a little bit scared. Scared is probably the best word to say, to use these in the colouring books because of what happened here. I'm going to have to be very careful. It was so much easier swatching out the Ohuhus because I didn't have any of those issues. My biggest issue now is trying to get them all in some sort of order and put them in this box. So I will be diving a bit deeper into alcohol markers in future videos. I do have a how to base with alcohol markers video, but if you would like to see more alcohol marker tutorials, let me know. Do you want to see tips on how to blend, how to do patterns? Let me know what you're interested in if you like down in the comment section, and I'm going to move all this out of the way and put these markers in some sort of order. Wish me luck. It's going to be another few hours. I'm going to get a coffee first. Now, this next part of the haul is something really special. I received a lovely surprise from Albert, who is the creator of Black Widow pencils, and he kindly sent me 2 sets from the Black Widow range as a thank you for everything I've done with my Black Widow colour combination series, and that is such a thoughtful and generous gesture by Albert. He has sent me both the Cobra and the Monarch sets, and honestly, these are probably 2 of my most used Black Widow sets, so it is fantastic to now have fresh backup pencils for when my favourites start to run low. As many of you probably already know, Black Widow pencils aren't technically sold open stock, but if you do need replacements, you can contact Albert directly through the Black Widow Facebook page and place an order. Just a quick note though, he is based in Melbourne, Australia, so if you are overseas, you may want to check what the shipping cost would be first. So both sets come in these metal tins and they do arrive sealed with plastic. I have taken the plastic off already to avoid all that crinkling sounds in your ears, but they did arrive sealed. So let's open them up so you can take a look at the colours in each of these tins. Oops. Okay, so they've got plastic on top of that too. There's our swatches. Hang on, let me turn this light off. There we go. Your swatches there. Beautiful, vibrant colours. And this one is still taped up. There we go. I think we've got 2 layers here, so we'll take that plastic off the top. And we can see the bottom layer. Oops, can I just lift that? There we go. I was trying to avoid the crinkling, but here we go. Okay, put to the side and we can lift these out. So that is the first tray in the tin. And that is our second layer of colours. So these are a little bit more muted compared to these very
vibrant tones. Let's just cut this open too. Okay. See if we can see these a bit better without the plastic on the tins. I love these newer sets that have the dipped ends. I think they make finding the pencils a lot easier when they're in your pencil case. Now, if you're not familiar with Black Widow pencils, oh, there we go. They are wax-based. They're nice and creamy. They blend beautifully. Oh, I've got plastic stuck to my hand. There we go. And there are our colours. You can see a better idea now that plastic's off. They're so pretty. It's like a little rainbow. Yeah, so they're wax-based. They're very creamy. They blend beautifully. And for those who aren't aware, I have created an entire series of Black Widow colour combo videos covering every colour family, plus themed sets like metal blends, unique combos, skin tone palettes as well. I also have a conversion chart that includes the full 180 Black Widow range and matches them to other popular brands as well. That's really handy if you like to mix and match your sets. I will link that playlist down below if anyone wants to check it out, and I'll just show you my completed swatch chart here for the full 180 pencil range. It is available for free download. It is on my Ko-fi, as are the colour combo sheets and the conversion chart and basically any of my charts. They're all up there. Okay, so here are our Black Widow colour combos. And you can see, not colour combos, swatches. I'm getting myself confused now. You can see here the first two letters in front of the number tells you what set they're from. So these MN are from the Monarch set, SC Scorpion, SL is Skin Light, SD is Skin Dark, CB Cobra, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's a full 180 set. They've got a really big range of colours. There are a few more pastel-y tones that I would like to see in this range, like some really nice pale blues. But yeah, that is the 180 range, and the colour combos, I'll give you a glimpse at that too. They're in this folder. Black Widows, here we go. So hopefully I'll just hold that up like that so there's no glare. So we've got blues, browns and greens, orange, pink, purple, red, yellow. This is our unique combos here, where we mix different colour families together. And we've got our metals. And then we have skin tones. Yeah. So thank you very much to Albert for sending these through. It was very kind and very generous. I'm very excited to keep creating more with this range, and of course these pencils will also be featured on my upcoming website, which I will be sharing more about very soon. Now, I've also picked up a few supplies for a budget colouring challenge that I'm going to be filming soon, and I'm actually really excited for this one. The idea is to try and create a high-end result using only affordable, budget-friendly supplies that I have found on Amazon US. But also ones that still had decent reviews. So I didn't just grab the cheapest of the cheap. I wanted to find products that looked promising, even if they were super affordable. So first up is this box right here. This is the Amazon Basics coloured pencil set, and yes, it came packaged like this. Now the actual tin is inside this cardboard box, but I haven't opened it yet because I do want to save that for the challenge video. So we'll be unboxing and swatching and checking out the pencils. So I haven't had a look at them yet. I don't know how this is going to go. You will see my genuine first impressions and we can test them together in that video. I'm going to swatch the pencils out, talk about how I feel about them, and then try to complete a full colouring page using just these pencils. But to go along with the pencils, I did pick up some embellishments. So I've got some gel pens because of course I need to add some sparkle and detailing to my page, but still keeping the entire challenge under a budget. These here are the 33-piece glitter gel pens. These were one of the cheapest glitter gel pen sets that I could find on Amazon US, and they had great reviews. I thought they would be perfect for adding a little bit of shimmer to our pages and just pushing that result a little bit further without using expensive tools. And of course, I couldn't go without a white gel pen too. And this one here, it's a brand I haven't heard of before. It's called Reminisce? It's hard to say. I keep wanting to say Reminiscence. Reminisce by Marvi. Yeah, rubberized comfort grip, unique smooth flowing gel pen, ideal for scrapbooks because they're acid-free, light, fast, pigmented, and archival. Again, it was one of the most affordable options. It did have some surprisingly good reviews as well, so I thought it was worth trying out. We'll see how it stacks up against the more well-known brands during the challenge. So all of these products will be used together in that video. I'll be unboxing, swatching, attempting a full page using only these 3 supplies with the goal of getting a result that looks far more high-end and expensive than the tools make it look. So I'll come back later in the haul video once I film that challenge and I'll show you my completed swatch chart and the page I coloured and give you a little bit of thoughts on how it all turned out. Next up, I repurchased one of my all-time favourite products, the Imagine Crafts Sheer Shimmer Spray in Sparkle. I can't actually remember if this is my 2nd or 3rd bottle of this stuff, but I go through a lot, specifically the sparkle. If you have watched any of my completed pages videos, you've seen it pop up multiple times every month. And oh, look, the silver's all sitting down the bottom. Look at that. I'll give it a shake. Look at the sparkle. So pretty. I love using it just to add that little bit of glow and sparkle, that final touch. It creates such a magical finish. I always keep a bottle on hand and I'm so glad to have a fresh one again. When you get to the end and you start spraying it, it doesn't come out quite as fine. It starts to sort of like come out in sort of larger, not bubbles, but like bigger drops. That's the word I'm looking for. So just a reminder as well that all the products I have mentioned today will be listed in my Amazon storefront and also in the video description if you want to take a closer look. And if you want to see these in action, just have a look at any one of my completed pages videos. Next thing I want to quickly mention is the Kato electric diamond painting pen, which was sent to me by Kato to try out, and it is out of its box at the moment and the charger here because I have been playing around with it. So it does come with a charger cord. Now I have already posted a full review here on the channel where I unbox it, show you how it works. I share my thoughts after testing it on both round and square drills. It is rechargeable, lightweight and comfortable to use as well. And this is the purple one here, so it comes in a few different colours, purple, pink and like a pastel bluey green colour. So it's very comfortable. That's what it sounds like. And the tips are interchangeable and they pop off. They just pull straight off and pop straight back in. And you get a bent one here, a bent tip, a 2 drill tip and a 4 drill tip with it as well. So in the review video, I also decorated this sparkly pink butterfly sticker. I ended up giving that to my daughter and she has very proudly stuck it on her school diary, which is really cute. If you are curious to see this in action or you're thinking about getting one for yourself or for a loved one, I have linked the review video in the description below if you want to check that out. And for all my diamond paintings out there, have you seen these e-pens around? Have you tried one? I'd love to hear your thoughts too. They seem to be very popular in the Facebook groups at the moment. In my last haul video, I mentioned that I'd seen a sharpener specifically made for pastel and charcoal pencils, and I was curious to give it a try. So I ended up picking up this one from Derwent. Now, I mainly got it because I don't put anything other than standard colour pencils or watercolour pencils through my DAL 133. Soft core pencils like pastels or charcoals, they're often a lot more abrasive and can dull the blade quickly, so I wanted something separate just for those. So that's what it looks like. And it's just got the single hole, if you can see that. So it looks pretty much just like a regular sharpener. So I'm not sure how different it will feel, but let's try it out with one of my Faber-Castell Pit Pastel pencils and see how it goes. So let's grab one of these out. Anyone in particular? Let's go with this one. Okay, I'm just gonna put that there because I'm about to make a mess. So before sharpening, okay, it's not very sharp. I think I have to, oh, okay. That's what it looks like. Has it crumbled? No, it hasn't. It has given me a nice clean point. I could probably get that a bit sharper, but I don't want to waste all the product with the shavings. The core hasn't broken, which is great. But to be honest, it didn't feel all that different from a standard sharpener. It's just got a nice, sharp, fresh blade. I'll be interested to see how well it holds up over time because pastel pencils do tend to wear blades down fairly quickly. So I'm not convinced there's anything magical about it. I do think it is handy having a dedicated sharpener for messy, more delicate pencils or mediums, and it helps keep my dial in perfect condition for my normal coloured pencils, but yeah, and it makes a mess. I'm going to need a little bin to empty that out. Okay. And I have one more set of pencils to show you today. I picked up a brand new set of colour pencils from Ohuhu. These are the Halawa 722 set of oil-based coloured pencils. I did actually purchase mine from Amazon UK because at that time they were not available here in Australia, but you can now get them on Amazon Australia for around $75.99 off the top of my head, which is great to see. I haven't opened or tested them out yet. Let's just take off this plastic actually, so we might be able to have a quick look. I am saving the testing and everything for a full review video, which will be coming very soon, if it's not already out by the time you're seeing this video. So I'm going to be swatching them out, testing how well they blend and layer and all that jazz, seeing how they compare to some of my other favourite pencils too, like the Polychromos. So if you're curious about these Ohuhu pencils, definitely keep your eye open for that video. It'll be up shortly, but if it is already up at the time of this video posting, I will tag the video link down in the description. So let's have a quick look. This is my first look at the colours. Okay, I'm going to use a manual. Oh, that's a little swatch chart. Okay. What I'll probably do is swatch it on this cardstock first, and then I might pop them into my conversion chart, and when I do so, I can swap the order into the colour order that I like and use that preferred colour order to do a swatch chart with my normal swatch chart. So it will match with, is it my folder? Nope, that's the colour combo folder. Yeah. So I'll do a swatch chart so it matches all of these. And that'll be linked in the video description for the review on these pencils as well. So I dare say there's another tray. Oh, they look nice and thick. Hang on, let me lift one up and show you. It's a nice thick lead. They're very light. name and number, just how we like it. Okay. Decent range, 72 pencils. Yeah, we've got a decent range of, I'm just looking to see my, you know, I like my pastel colours. I need to have those highlight colours, so I'm just double checking that. So we've got some good yellows, oranges, reds, pinks, blues, purples, what you would expect from a 722 size set. We'll get a full idea when we swatch them all out. There's our greens. I love the blue greens. We've got some browns, some skin colours. Black, white, metallics. Okay, looks like a decent range. Oh, I like this. Draw, feel, empower. So keep your eye out for that review video, and if you have these pencils already, let me know down below what you think. Next is something I ordered way back in October of 2024, a bubble style stencil that I picked up from Amazon Australia. It was only coming from our neighbours over the pond in NZ, but somehow it decided to take the long and scenic route, and it has arrived finally 9 months later. I actually did buy this stencil for a specific colouring page that I was working on at that time, because I just can't even remember what I ordered now. Oh, is it a sticker? It feels like it could be a sticker. Surely not. It says stencil. 3M tape. Should I try? Should I try? I mean, it only take 9 months to replace it if I break it. No, I don't think I can pull that off. Can I? No. But that is like papery. So that's plasticky and that's papery. So that's going to get dirty. You can already see it's dirty. It's going to get dirty fairly quickly. So like I was saying, I did purchase it for a specific colouring page. Obviously, that ship has sailed. It was 2024 and it possibly took the same journey as the stencil took around the world. Though I'm sure I will find plenty of other uses for it. You could easily pair it with soft pastels, distress inks, even sponge on watercolour paints or metallic paints to a page for a lovely shimmery effect. I also think it'd be really fun to use as a guide for erasing little bubble shapes from coloured backgrounds, or even just adding a bit of texture and interest to undersea scenes. So I'll definitely be giving this one a try, hopefully soon. I just gotta find the perfect page for bubbles. Surely there's one in Dark Fairy Tales. Actually, The Little Mermaid. I think that one's an underwater scene. It's a possibility. Okay. Now let's take a look at some of the new books that have joined my collection recently. I have done a full flip through and review for each of these books on the channel, so I will leave those videos a link down below if you'd like to take a closer, more in-depth look at any of these books. So first up we have The Language of Flowers by Stratton Peterson, and this was kindly sent to me by the publishers, who are Lom Art. And I'll just quickly show you what is in this book. The concept of this book is really fun. Each page is based on a different flower and its traditional meaning. We even have mythology included in some of them as well. The illustrations are whimsical. We've got some lovely fine details. There's a real peaceful, almost vintage vibe to this whole book. I love this page. So, and that page too, and that page. Some beautiful pages in here. And technically single-sided, so you could use your markers if you're willing to give up the writing on this side, because it will bleed through to the writing. So, like I said, there is a full review and a proper flip through up on the channel if you want to take a look at that, and it will be linked down below. So next is Wondrous Folk by Christine Caron. I purchased my copy from Amazon Australia. I had mine pre-ordered for quite a while, but it is since become available through Big W, and it is actually cheaper at Big W. So check out Big W Australia if you have one nearby. Otherwise, it's available on Amazon Australia. I think it was $20 on Amazon and $18 in Big W. And it will be available internationally from August. And pre-orders are open now. You can find the purchase links in my video for the full review and flip through. So I'll just give you a quick flip now because Christine's work is amazing and this book is packed with her signature style. It's themed around mythical folk traditions from around the world. Each page has a title down the bottom and it has sort of subtle story-like elements bringing all the characters to life as well. It's just beautiful. And Christine is one of my favorite artists for portraits. The expression, the detail. Look at that. It's just beautiful. I love a grayscale book too. It's very subtly grayscaled. Help you to learn where to place your shadows and your highlights. Following her grayscales. So that's pretty. That's a good one for Christmas in July. So that is A Wondrous Folk by Christine Caron. And I also received a surprise package from the lovely Rita Berman. She sent me copies of her 2 new English editions, Hidden Oceans and Hidden Earth. So these are part of her well-loved Hidden series. And they were originally published as Die Welt unter der Lupe Zulander and Das Wasser, so the ocean and the earth book. Hidden Oceans focuses on undersea life and water themes, so it is the same book, just a different edition. So all the images inside are the same as the German edition, but for the first time ever, Rita is now producing English editions too. And it is Walter Foster by Quarto. That's the publisher. I'll give you a quick look at Hidden Earth as well. So Hidden Oceans is your underwater themes, and Hidden Earth takes you across landscapes, gardens, forests. Beautifully printed. Great paper. Actually, I did a paper test, and I'll show you in a minute, it's in the other book, in my full review as well. The paper is wonderful, and now they're even more accessible to even more colorists thanks to the English release. Look at that. Rita is one of my most favourite artists. I love her work. So I am looking forward to colouring in these books. What I have done is a paper test at the back of this book here. So I just tested a few different mediums. We've got wax-based pencils, oil-based pencils, water mediums. So we've got Neocolor 2s, Albrecht Dürers, Tombow markers, and Sparkle Pop gel pens. And that was my test to see whether anything would bleed through, and it did not, but you can see that full test in action on the full flip through and review of these books as well. I also picked up a really fun and practical little workbook here that I haven't yet shown on the channel. It's called Cute and Cozy Colouring, a practice workbook, and it's by Sweet Art Roz. Now, this book I purchased specifically for practicing with alcohol markers. I've seen quite a few different people using it. It does mention at the front that you can use it with pencils as well. Where did I see that? So, what does it say here? Do you ever feel hesitant to start colouring because you're afraid of making a mistake? Don't worry, this workbook is here to change that. It's your special place to explore, practice, and even mess up without stress. Keeping your favourite colouring books safe and flawless. This is your creativity playground. Experiment and improve with blending techniques for stunning gradients, crafting unique patterns for beautiful designs, mixing colours to uncover your dream palette, and mastering details like leaves, clouds, textures, super cute characters, and more, which are elements commonly seen in colouring pages. Feel free to scribble, smudge, and explore, because every mistake is a valuable step towards becoming a colouring pro. So pick up your pencils, markers, or paints and let your imagination take the lead. There's no right or wrong here, only fun, creativity and growth. Happy colouring and enjoy the journey. So we've got colour swatches, colour combinations, pattern practice, blending exercises, our objects and common elements, and our super cute characters to practice. I actually saw someone colouring a bear today on TikTok and it looked so cute. I might have to give that technique a go. If I do give any of the techniques a go, I'll let you know where I found them, whether it was from a TikTok creator or an Instagram creator. I'll tag them in the videos if I give that a go. So before you start, this book's paper is perfect for all of your colourful creations, whether you're using coloured pencils or alcohol markers. So you can use this for your coloured pencils as well, but I bought it specifically for alcohol markers. So protect your pages from potential bleed through by putting a thick paper or cardstock behind the page of colouring. I usually tend to use a piece of plastic. So here are our colour swatches. So you can write your brand, what set it's from, your colour swatch, and then possibly the name or number underneath. Quite a few of these. So we go from those shapes to stars and hearts. We've got cats, I think, envelopes. So many different pages for colour swatching. So hang on, where does that go to? So that's like that much of the book to swatch. Here you can start writing down your favourite colour combos. And so we've got pattern and texture practices here. So you can do your wallpapers, wood effects, all that sort of stuff. Even your sky effects as well, practice them in here, like different sunsets and stuff. Or you can even use these just to create blends. And this is a big section too. It's quite a thick book actually. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, and circular pattern and texture practice pages. Here are our blending exercises. So you've got like these little faint grey lines here, so you can do your first colour and then go over with your second and then your third. I tend to go light all over and then darkest and then our mid-tone and then light all over again. So light, dark, mid, light is how I tend to blend my alcohol markers. So we're going to have a few pages of them too, aren't we? Still blending. We've gone from vertical to horizontal, and here are our different elements, so different types of trees you can practice. I'm so looking forward to trying these out. Christmas trees, you can try some snow effects or some light effects as well on these. Just make sure you're getting the pages in frame. Bushes, grass even effects, different types of flowers. Autumnal pages. Fireplaces. You could do all different colour combinations. Oh, even more fireplaces. I don't know if you need that many fireplace practice sheets. Windows. So you could do different curtain techniques and patterns, but you could also do different like scenes outside the windows and stuff as well. Please excuse the fact that I am all blocked up. I have a cold that I'm getting over at the moment. My daughter gave me her germs after we came back from our holiday. More windows. More windows. Ooh, different bubbles and stuff. That'll be fun. All the different colours you can create. I see so many awesome effects with alcohol markers. I can't wait to dive into it more. Furniture. This is going to be really handy because these are elements that you do find on a lot of colouring pages. Those cute and cozy books. Cats and dogs and bears and frogs. Very cute. Now it is printed on Amazon paper, so I am curious to see how well the markers will perform, especially when you're doing little techniques, but a lot of the details you tend to use acrylic markers for, so it should be fine. Now I've got my new marker sets. I'm really looking forward to diving in and seeing what I can create. Okay. Next up, I have something really special I'd like to share with you all, and it's a wonderful gift that was sent to me by the lovely Christine. Christine has very generously sent me a set of 3 Disney Dreams collection colouring books by Thomas Kincaid Studios, specifically for a challenge video. Now, the first 2 books that she sent across are the Disney Dreams collection colouring book and the Disney Dreams collection Disney Princess colouring book. Let me show you a quick flip of these books. Now, they are beautifully designed, and the books are stitch and glue bound as well. But each double page from opening features a full colour image of Thomas Kincaid's artwork on one side and the matching line art on the opposite side. So this setup allows you to either replicate the original masterpiece or give it your own creative twist. See, I love this page, but I would colour it way differently to that. That's Pinocchio. So I am planning to challenge myself by attempting to replicate one of the coloured versions. And when I shared this idea with my daughter, who was flipping through the books with me, she said to me in her teen lingo, "Ma, you're cooked." And kiddo, honestly, I agree. It's going to be quite the challenge. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do this. I wonder what mediums, if you have these books, let me know what mediums work best in them. So this looks like it could be like oil painting or something, the original artwork. I'll have to look that up, but to get that sort of look, I'm thinking maybe like a gouache or an acrylic paint. But how's the paper? Is that 1 page? That's 2 pages. The paper's fairly on the thinner side, so I don't know how water mediums are going to react on this paper. I'll have to test them out. Is there somewhere to test? No. Okay. If you have these books and you have used water mediums in there, let me know. Let me know how well they work. Technically, it is a single-sided book. You could just sacrifice the coloured picture. Yeah. That's cute. Sleeping Beauty. That's cute. That might be a fairly easy-ish one to replicate, maybe. Let's have another look at this one, the Disney Princesses. Let's have a look through this one. This one's a little bit thinner, I think. Okay. Now, one thing I am noticing, and if you have been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I tend to lean towards very bold, very vibrant, very pigmented colours. And these are a lot sort of darker and more on the neutral or natural side compared to the colours I normally use. So this is going to be a little bit out of my well, it's going to be a lot out of my comfort zone, not just the colour, but trying to replicate and trying to make it look realistic. Which you see, like all the line work here, trying to make those lines turn into that moss. I'm gonna have to cover the white lines. Gouache would work for that really well. Yeah. I don't know what page to start with. This is going to be an interesting challenge, that's for sure. And one I don't know if I can actually pull through. That's pretty. Okay. So that's a bit daunting. Now, the third book here is the Disney Dreams Collection Disney Princess Colouring Poster Book. So this contains 16 large 11 by 14 inch single-sided pages, and it's printed on high quality cardstock. So these pages are easily removable and suitable for framing, making them perfect for various mediums like markers, watercolors, colored pencils. You can use everything on these pages. And unlike the other two books, this doesn't include the colored references, so it gives you the freedom to interpret the scenes in your own style, which the other ones do too, but having that page colored next to it kind of makes me feel like I need to color it the same way. But here, where there's no colored versions, I can look at it and I can see my own color palette in my mind, which is useful for me for when I color. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I am thinking whether to try replicating one of the colored images from one of these two books, so replicating one of them, or creating an entirely original piece from one of the poster pages. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Would you prefer to see me attempt to recreate one of the colored images as a challenge, or to color one of the poster pages in my own way? Let me know in the comments. It's definitely going to be more of a challenge to recreate. Definitely. And once again, a huge thank you to Christine for this thoughtful and generous gift. I can't wait to dive in actually and share this journey with you all. This page is gorgeous. Beauty and the Beast. So is this. The line art here seems a little bit more manageable. Are the pages the same? Let's have a look. Obviously, it's only a selection because it's only 16 pages. The style feels a little different in the line art. This feels more manageable for some reason. I don't know why, because they are huge pages. That's pretty too. These are beautiful. I love this poster book. The paper feels really nice as well. Really thick, really toothy. I'll just quickly flip through some of them to show you. This definitely looks, oh, okay. So they're the images at the back. Yes, they are. Okay, so they're the colored images. So you can refer to these if you need a reference photo. Yeah. Okay, that's the picture from the other book that I said was really pretty. So I could also recreate one of these in here. That'd take a long time. That would take me a while, I think. And that's the end of it. Yeah. Okay, let me know in the comments, what would you like to see as a challenge? A recreation of one of these pages in either of these books, or me colouring an original page with my original colours. Let me know down below. Next up, I grabbed a couple of new pencil rolls or pencil wraps because honestly, you can never have enough storage for pencils like wraps or pencil cases. Am I right? These ones here fit the 72 sets of pencils, and I've already moved my original Derwent Chromoflow's 72 set into one. And this second roll here will be for my Ohuhu Halawar pencils. Now that I've added those to my collection, I'll just open this up here and show you that is the 72 set of Derwent Chromoflows. I have my 150 set in a pencil case already. But I want to keep these here nice and tidy. I actually mentioned these rolls in my blog post for my favorite items. They have become such a staple for me in terms of organization. I already have some with the elephant print, which I love, and I don't just use these rolls for pencils. I also keep paintbrushes in one, gel pens as well, and all sorts of mediums tidy just by using these wraps. And these new ones have this really cute colourful leafy print, which I just couldn't resist, and I think I'll probably need to order a few more, especially now that I've added the Amazon basic pencils and the new 10-mit gel pens as well. I will definitely need something to keep those organised and tidy too. And there are a lot more prints out there as well, so I'll have to maybe get a couple more in a different print to try out. Next up, I've got something a little bit different but actually really handy, and that is wooden dowels. Now, sounds strange, I know, but bear with me. If you followed my channel for a while, you have probably seen me mention my technique for getting the most out of my pencils when they turn into these tiny little nubs. Now, for years, I have been super gluing pencil nubs to other small pencils of the same color, and that lets me sharpen them more easily and get a bit more life out of each pencil. So you may have spotted these popping up in my videos from time to time, although I do try not to use these guys in my color alongs. They do pop up occasionally when I have run out of a replacement pencil and I'm waiting for those replacements to come in. But what I have learned from doing this process over many years is that it's not the most efficient way to use every last bit of your little tiny nub of a pencil, because you still can't sharpen the entire pencil that way. And if you have a look at this one here, this is 2 white pencils glued together, and you can see the join mark here. So you've still got this much of that pencil left, which, I mean, it's pretty much all used up. And then you've got this much here, and eventually that will go down to about here, and you can't use up the entire thing because it then won't fit in a pencil sharpener unless you use like a little craft knife or something to sharpen it. But I have now moved on to a new and improved technique, and that is where the wooden dowels come in. Now, I have seen others do this. So basically you glue your pencil nub to the end of a wooden dowel. And because the dowel is actually reusable, once you've completely used up your pencil nub, you just cut off the leftover bit and then glue on another nub, so you can still keep using the wooden dowel. Now, I grabbed a pack of 100 dowels for about $10, and then I had my husband cut them in half. So now I've actually got 200 ready to go, which honestly, I think that's going to last me forever because, like I said, you can keep reusing the same dowels. Now, the size I bought is 1/4 of an inch by 12 inches long, and of course they're cut in half, so now they're 6 inches, which is a perfect size. Now, the next size up for the width would have been too wide, so they would have been wider than my Prismacolor pencil. So these dowels are actually slightly smaller than my Prismacolors. So what that means is that they don't fit in a pencil extender, but you don't need them to because the dowel itself acts as an extender, and they do feel comfortable enough, so it's not too thin. It feels quite comfortable in the hand, but if you do find it feeling a little bit awkward, you could always add like a little pencil grip to make them a bit easier to hold. Also, just a heads up, the Dahl 133 sharpener doesn't grip onto the wooden dowel because it is so thin, and I'll just quickly show you what I mean. See, it just slides straight back, doesn't grip onto it. But that is perfectly fine because it does work really well in my handheld comb sharpener. And this is a sharpener I normally use when my pencils get really teeny tiny anyway, and I will show you here. I use the small hole for my Prismacolors and just turn it as you would normally. And you get your sharp point. Yeah, and you can keep doing this all the way until there's basically nothing left of your pencil. So I'm actually considering making a spare Prismacolor 150 set using all of my little nubs. So then I've got a full backup set for when I'm not filming, but we'll see how that goes. That will take some time to set up, I think. So that is my new technique, and I do have some tiny nubs here ready to go, so I'm going to start adding them onto my wooden dowels. You may see these pop up in videos, hopefully not, because hopefully I can get my hands on replacements, but this does allow me to use up all of my pencils when I'm colouring off screen as well, because at the moment I have a huge plastic container full of little tiny nubs. Oh, and while I'm at it, I'll just show you, this is the super glue that I use. And hang on, I do have a spare here. I always have a spare in the drawer, and it's the Selleys Fix and Go super glue. That's what it looks like there, and it doesn't take long at all to dry and sticks it together really well, nice and hard. And another thing, I have learned my lesson. I always super glue with my glass mat underneath, because quite a while ago when I was super gluing, I actually accidentally dropped the pencils onto my desk, got some super glue on, and when I lifted the pencils up, some of the white of my desk actually lifted as well. So I make sure I'm fully covered when I'm super gluing from now on. So the next product I have to show you is a 60 set of Staedtler Pigment Arts brush pens. These pens feature Staedtler's multi-ink technology, which blends the qualities of several ink systems into one. That means they're designed to be highly pigmented, light fast, and waterproof once dry. Now the ink is also said to dry quite quickly, which helps reduce smudging. It's something I'm always happy about, but we will test that out. And on the box here we can see some color swatches. And the range actually looks quite good. I especially like the more pastel looking tones, and we've got a whole bunch of colors here that look great for skin tones as well. Now let's open it up. Ooh. And I am liking this packaging actually. I may keep the pens in here for the time being, so oh, these are handy to lift up. These are a lot easier than when they've got the little holes in. Oops. Okay. So, let's take a closer look at one of the colours. Do they have any names or numbers? Okay, so orange. We do have a colour name there. Orange. There's no colour numbers. It's got 4 stars next to it. I wonder if that is the light fast rating. Yeah, it must be. That's got 5. That's Scarlet Red. Okay. So the pens are brush tips and they are medium firm fibre tips. So you do get a nice balance between control and flexibility. Personally, I do prefer a softer, more flexible tip on my markers, but with a firmer tip, you can get into the smaller areas better, which is also a plus for tiny elements on a page. And compared to the Staedtler Triplus fine liners, which was actually my very first ever art supply that I ever bought for adult colouring, these brush pens offer a bit more of a painterly effect. So the fine liners are great for details and outlines, while these pens are meant to offer more coverage and blendability. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch all 60 colours on screen now so we can take a look at the range and see the vibrancy of the colours. Now, I already had a bunch of swatch charts printed out on normal copy paper, so I think I'm going to use that. So it is normal copy paper. I have a notebook underneath for cushioning. Now, they may not perform the best on normal copy paper, but I think this is more similar to our colouring book pages than if I used a cardstock. So let's try it out on here first. I'll zoom you in a little bit. Just going to write the medium name at the top here. So it is and I'll swatch them all out and then I'll come back later and put the colour names on here as well so I don't get them mixed up. I'm just going to swatch them in the same order that they are in the box. I'll just move this over here and I will swatch from right to left so I don't smudge, even though it does say they dry quickly, so I don't smudge with my hand. Okay, so there are all of our pens swatched out. Now, I was actually a lot happier with that nib than I was expecting to, so that's what it looks like again. And it did have a really good flexibility, but because it is so tiny, it was able to get into the smaller spaces without going through the lines. And if I can, I compare it to my Tombow water-based markers, which is what I like to use mostly for basing. And you can see the difference in the nib sizes there. So the Tombow is a lot thicker. It's also a lot more flexible as well. So I don't know. So the Tombows I have used for larger areas. I'm not quite sure about this one, whether it would work in a large area. So what I'm thinking is maybe we should do a couple of tests. Now, because they're a pigment ink, they're not like an alcohol marker or water-based marker. They do layer on top of each other, or they say they layer on top of each other without blending into each other. So once the bottom layer is dry, you can add another second layer on top and they won't blend in. So I want to test that out, but you can also blend them together. Now, I know they do have a blending liquid that you could use, but I think you can blend the markers as they are. So let's try that out. And I'll move that to the side. I've got some of my Nina cardstock here. And if we grab a couple of really different colours, and so I've picked up yellow and I've picked up May green. So I'm going to do yellow as a base colour. I'm going to let it dry and then I'm going to do the May green over the top. So just swatch out an area like that. Leave it to dry for a little bit. And let's try and put the May green on top. Hopefully that's dry enough and see what happens. So let's draw a square, because that is one way that these will come in handy. You can add in little patterns on top. Yep. Okay, so why don't we now try blending some colours together. So these three look like they might be a good match, perhaps. That is that one, and that one. We've got mint, turquoise, and teal. So let's see if we can do this. Now, some of the colour will get on the nibs, but hopefully we can just rub them on some scrap paper or some paper towel to get that colour off. So I'm going to start with the lightest colour first, and we're just going to do this, and then let's go with our medium. Just do a bit of a crossover there, and then back in with a light. Yeah. Okay. Paper is pilling a little bit, if you can see that. And then let's go in with the dark. And back over with the medium. Okay, and then this blend here didn't blend the best. Okay, so it worked somewhat. I'll just clean these nibs off down here. I'd be interested in trying the blending liquid that Staedtler have for these to see how well that works. But these are really interesting. I'm really excited to try them out on a colouring page. I wanted to see if they blended, because I was thinking of skin tones and things like that. And things other than just basing. So I know you can base and then put your colour pencils over the top, but it'd be great if you could do a bit of blending with them as well. Yeah, let me know down below if you want to see me try these out a little bit more, put these to the test and see what I can get them to do. And perhaps I might try that blending liquid as well and see what that does too. Let me know down below too if you already have these pigment brush pens and if you use them in your colouring books, what you like to use them for. And I look forward to testing them a little bit more in the colouring books. Now, before I wrap up the haul, I wanted to follow up on a few things that I've mentioned earlier, just so we're all up to date. And first up is the Derwent Chromoflow pencils. Now, I have completed both the swatch chart and the conversion chart, matching the 150 Chromoflow colours to their closest Prismacolor equivalents. That is the conversion chart here. And then we've got our swatch chart, which is this one here. Now, you'll find these as free downloads linked in the description box down below if you want to print them out for yourself. And I have also officially started my Chromoflow colour combo series, so if you are looking for some new blends and inspiration for your Chromoflows, those videos are now popping up on the channel, so go check them out. There is a dedicated playlist for the Chromoflows and I'll link that down below too. Moving on to the Amazon Basics pencils and my budget colouring challenge supplies. I have filmed and completed the challenge now, and that should be up on the channel for you to watch. I will link it down below if it's already up there. I have completed my Amazon Basics swatch chart, which is available for a free download. This is the swatch chart here. Here is my pencil review worksheet that I completed as well to test the pencils out. And of course my swatch sheet for the 10 MAC glitter gel pens as well, the 33 set. And I will also show you the finished page I created using those supplies. And here it is. And this is from Magical Jungle by Joanna Basford. And I'll just lift that close so you can see the sparkle from the gel pens. There we go. That glittery sparkle, as well as how well those pencils performed. Now, if you want to see the full process for this, my detailed thoughts, how the products performed, the color combinations I used as well, definitely check out the full challenge video. I will also link that. And lastly, I want to give you an update on the Shuttle Art markers. You might remember I had some issues with dripping and ink pooling during swatching. I did contact Shuttle Art to ask about this issue to see if it was a common issue with markers, but at this point in time I have not had any response. If that changes, I will let you know in a future video, but I think that's all the updates for now. If there is anything I've missed or you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments. And that is everything for today's haul. There are so many new supplies to try out, some handy tools, and a few exciting challenge projects coming your way. I want to say a huge thank you once again to Christine for the beautiful Thomas Kincaid books she sent me. I cannot wait to take on that challenge and see how I go. Also, a big thank you to artists, publishers, the companies who've kindly sent me some of the products that I have shared with you today. If you are interested in trying any of these supplies for yourself, I have added them to my Amazon storefronts, and you'll find those all linked down below. And of course, thank you to everybody who supports the channel by shopping through those links or downloading my resources from Ko-fi. Your support really does help me to keep purchasing these items for the channel so I can test them out and share them all with you. I have also linked all the free downloads like my swatch charts, conversion charts, color combo sheets, along with full review videos for all the items that I've shown today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which item you're most excited to see me use next, or what challenge you'd like to see me take on next, or if you've tried any of these products for yourself. I will see you all in the next video. Happy coloring, take care, and bye for now.